musician and the vocal coach for the movie Michael. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Stefanie Spruill, thank you so much for stopping in on the Soul Survivor Show.
Yes, yes, I'm blessed to be here.
I read that you were one of the most recorded background singers in the history of music, having over 1,000 albums recorded. Could you
Yeah.
break that down for me just a little bit? Because that's incredible.
Just a few of the artists. Is that what you want to know?
Well, I mean, how
What
did
do you
that
want to
come
know?
about where you were like chosen every single time for all these wonderful, wonderful musicians?
Well, my work ethic is my legacy. So when you know, I'm very professional, and I show up and show out.
All right.
So everybody, from Billy Idol to Michael Jackson to, Donald Byrd, Gloria Gaynor to Julio Iglesias, Quincy Jones, Ricky Martin, Little Feat, Olivia Newton-John, The Carpenters, Shaka Khan, Ringo Starr, Joe Cocker, Dolly Parton, working 9 to 5. All the records that I've done, David Bowie, Glenn Campbell. Yes, I was a rhinestone cowgirl. It was like Aretha Franklin, jump, jump, jump to it. Luther Vandross hired me and, performed everywhere and with everybody. And I said, okay, I'm going to start a school of voice and artist development and pass forward my skills and techniques to those in the industry, to the creatives who need interpersonal skills. And also my book I wrote, 17 Points to Longevity in Show Business, Staying Focused on Your Vision. So it's very, very important that we pass on all of the skills and techniques that we've learned. So my school is an international school. And so the one who played the young Michael and all the Jacksons in the Michael biopic, they're my students. So I was selected to be the vocal coach for the movie Michael.
So let's talk about the movie a little bit. Did had a great opening. I'm sure you had a chance to preview it. How do you feel about the work and how it's come about?
Well, it's phenomenal. I was at the premiere and the red carpet, at the party afterwards, and everybody was there. What it is telling the truth of Michael's story. How he's changed music. His frequency is so high. When I did Can You Feel It, he called me at 3 o'clock in the morning to put together the choir for that song. And I did. And then he called me and told me I needed a children's choir as well. So can you make sure the choir has children of every race, creed, and color? And I had that, and he loved my soprano voice. So when you hear the "Can you feel it?" that's me. So it gives you that extra punch. So he was a great Michael Jackson was a great producer, the greatest artist of all time. And it was a blessing. It was like full circle for me to have worked with Michael on Heartbreak Hotel and playing the tambourine on Dancing Machine and several other songs that I did with Michael and the Jacksons. And for me to be the vocal coach for this movie, which I taught, Giuliano Valdi plays the young Michael Jackson.
Mhm.
And when you hear his voice, that's him singing. So he's been my student for 5 years. And Jafar, it was great to go to Havenhurst and teach Jafar he needed me to teach him. And it's one fun fact: when I was there in the studio that Michael Jackson built, it was just incredible. I could feel Michael's spirit. And I looked at Jafar, who is Jermaine's son. I told him, I said, you look just like your uncle right now. And I can feel Michael's spirit. This is
Wow.
incredible. And he's like, thank you. They all have that little voice. It's just incredible. And Jafar did a phenomenal job as the adult Michael. And Giuliano Valdi, look out for him because he's going to be a superstar. He plays
Tell
the
me a
young
little bit
Michael.
about Michael's work ethic. I've heard so much about it, and you were there, so you would know.
Yeah, he's a pro. He was a perfectionist. And he only wanted the people of his caliber to be around him. It's all about, he has such a high frequency that's why when he asked me to sing that "Can You Feel It," my soprano, he said, "I love your soprano voice. It's about that frequency." So that's the way he was. He worked extremely hard. Everything he did, his ears were just finite. He was a special gift to the world. He was the best. He was the best of all time.
Stephanie, you got some music out now, correct?
Yes, I do. Thankful that I wrote in my recording studio, and I lost my recording studio in my home in the Altadena fire.
Sorry to hear
It just
that.
took everything. However, I'm rebuilding, and it's going up quickly. My husband and I will be in the house in November. But yes, I what was your question?
No worries. When you talked about Altadena, that's where I grew up, and our house
Oh,
was destroyed. We lost everything,
yeah,
the family
yeah.
house, but
Every
we had moved. We haven't been there in years, but it still felt very strange, like
yes, it
not
was.
being in Altadena and being.
Oh,
I'm in Vegas now, being there, and
okay.
if I felt bad that I wasn't there. I don't know if that's a weird feeling or not, but I just didn't. I couldn't really comprehend what was going on.
It was devastating. It really was. But to see Altadena coming back, because we are Altadena strong,
That's right.
and people are trying to buy the properties up like crazy, and we say no, because for African Americans, we have 5, 6 generations there. When it was redlined everywhere else, they said, "Well, go to Altadena." Okay, thank you for these panoramic views.
Right.
So
Right.
they didn't know what they were blessing us with. And we are not leaving. So I'm rebuilding. So many more are rebuilding there. And it's such a blessing.
I'll get you out of here on this one. Last two questions. This one,
Yes.
what would you tell an artist today? What I'm looking at is the most strange time in music where we're getting back to albums, we're getting back to CDs, we're still streaming. We got AI. There's so much going on. What would be your advice to a young artist coming up and how to maneuver this time?
Well, it's all about your interpersonal skills, knowing how to be in your truth. You got to have a passion and be persistent and don't give up, don't give out, and don't give in. I always tell my people, are you an I can, I will, or an I must person? An I can person, I can do this or that. However, I don't know how to make this come to fruition. An I will person, I will get around to doing it. And most I wills are procrastinators. And you take the word procrastination out of your vocabulary. However, an I must person like myself, you have a clear vision and you proactively pursue your master plan with a sense of urgency on a daily basis. So, with the internet, use the internet, with all the goodies that you guys have, use them, but don't let them take away your truth. Find out who you are and be true to yourself because nobody can be a better you than you. Just
I
believe
hear
and keep that
I hear your
confidence.
purpose just coming out. It's just flowing.
Yes, that's me. I know my
So
purpose. I
are you
know who I
still
am and
taking
whose I
students?
am. Oh yeah, yeah, all over the world. I give Zoom classes. And they also come to me here. I found a studio right underneath this apartment, because we're here, my husband and I are waiting for our home to be built and should be finished in November in time for the holidays.
Yay.
So, yes, I have a studio I work out of, and I also give Zoom classes all over the world.
Where can folks find you if they want to enroll?
Yes, yes. Go to IG. My Instagram is at Spruill House. That's Spruillhous. And also, that's my Facebook is Spruill House. My my School of Voice and Arts Development, you can find that on Stefanie Spruill. That's with 2 L's. STEPHANIE SPRUILL.net. And you can get my book, on Amazon, and all my wares and my latest record, Out Thankful, because we are thankful, honey, and highly favored in the Lord. And also just stay in there and do what you have to do. But hit Miss Stefanie up.
Appreciate it. We will appreciate a copy of that, the new record, Thankful, so we can start pushing that out.
Okay, for sure. You'll
Thank you
have it.
so
And
much.
also, my book is an ebook, so you can get it and look at it on your computer or your iPhone.
Oh, that's cool.
Take
Stefanie, thank you
care.
so much.
God bless you.